debt collecting, and what they can and can't do a few minutes ago, a little while ago. So I just want to show y'all this letter that you can send to them, to the debt collectors, when they're trying to harass you or when they contact you in reference to a debt that they say you allegedly owes. Okay, so this is a sample letter right here. So you're basically saying that, tell me more about this debt, because apparently they done already contacted you. They done either contacted you in writing or they done contacted you on the phone. So you want to use this sample letter right here to get some information from them to make them prove to you that you do owe this debt and that they are legally binding to collect this debt from you. Okay, so here's a sample letter. So this letter is it's important because under the Fair Credit Debt Collection Practices, your legal rights to obtain verification information from a debt collector are greater during the 30-day period. So when they write you saying that you owe them X amount of dollars, they're XYZ collection agency. So you have 30 days to respond, and you want to respond as quickly as possible. That way, you'll be within the time restraints or time limits in responding back to the debt collector, because if you don't, you're basically saying that the debt is yours. So you want to ask them in your letter, and I'm going to show you the letter too, why a debt collector thinks you owe this debt. So tell me why you think I owe you this money, and the amount that you owe to them as well, and the details on the collector's authority to collect this money. So you got to tell me what authority do you have in collecting this debt from me? Who gave you the authority to do that? And where does it come from? You just can't contact me and say, hey, I want to collect the debt from you. You owe, JC Penney's or ABC convenience store, department store. You just can't do that. You got to legally tell me how I owe you this money, how you come about being the one to contact me saying that I need to give you some money. Okay. So after you send a letter to the debt collectors, I'm going to show you the letter too. So after you send a letter, the debt collector makes vague statements about what will happen if you don't pay. Read their response to that letter clearly so you can try to understand what they're talking about. And if they intend to sue you, just kind of take that seriously, because they can't take you to court. They will take you to court, and still they have to prove that you owe that debt, that you are legally binding to pay them. So federal law prohibits a debt collector from threatening to take any actions they can't take or that they don't intend to take. They just can threaten you to take you to court. A lot of people, I don't want to go to court. I don't want them folks to sue me, so I'm going to give them their money. I'm going to get it up however I can. But you don't necessarily have to do that, because they not probably even authorized to collect that debt. So these things I have in yellow just highlights things I want you to focus on. So state laws have limitations or limited time periods when creditors or debt collectors can file a lawsuit to collect the debt. It is a statute of limitation, and you have to check your state to see what that statute of limitation is. So these periods can be 2 years or longer. The period varies by state to state. So and the type of debt. So make sure you check your state. And in some states, even a partial payment on the debt will restart the time clock, restart the time period. So you may want to consult with a lawyer or an attorney before making any debt payment to any of these people. Okay, so here's the sample letter right here. Here's the letter right here. If you guys need me to send you this letter, I will. Or I'll just drop it inside somewhere that you can just copy and paste and just change that information up there to you, your name, your address and stuff, and then whoever that debt collector is and their information and their account number. So you'll want to get, when you address them in that letter, you'll want to know from them the name and address of the creditor to whom the debt is currently owed. That means the original creditor. Say if you owe, Macy's or somebody like that, and XYZ collection company is collecting on behalf of Macy's, then you will want that account number used by the original creditor, whatever Macy's account number is. You'll want to know that, and you'll want to know the amount that you owe Macy's, right? And then you want them to provide the name and address of the original creditor, whoever that is, Macy's, 123 Innerwell Street, Washington, D.C., or whatever that is, whatever address it is, the account number that is used by that creditor, the amount owed at the time that it was transferred, and any other name by which you may know them. They may be using another different name or a subsidiary of them or a parent company of them. Whoever it is, you'll want to know that information as well. You're going to ask them to provide verification, and a written agreement saying that, that holds your original requirement to pay. Who said that I was supposed to pay you? Where's the original document stating that if you collecting on this behalf, I'm quite sure you got all this information so you can collect on me. So I need to see what you have as well. So you're going to ask them, if you're asking that I pay debt that somebody else or was required, that somebody else was required to pay. So if you had a joint account, not necessarily a joint account, but it could have been somebody else's account. So you need to provide verification that that you do owe it, even though somebody else had it, you owe it. And the amount and age of the debt, including a copy of the last billing statement that was sent to you by the original creditor, not something that the collection agency done drummed up with all these, lines of accounting saying, late fees or admin fees or whatever kind of fees they want to add on them. So they got to state the debt when you obtained it. What was it when they obtained it? You got this from Macy's, then what did you actually get from Macy's when you got it? I need to know that too. And you want to ask, is there been any additional interest, fees, charges, any type of things that like that? You want them to itemize everything because you want to know how did you come to the amount that you say I owe. And any other charges that's that they're trying to stick saying that you are authorized to do. So you want to know if there have been any payments or reductions since the last billing statement from the original creditor. And if there have been any changes or adjustments since the last billing statement from the original creditor. You want them to provide you full documentation. You want them to calculate how it came about and everything. So these are kind of things that you'll want to ask them. And this is actually the letter that you will be sending them right here. Tell me when the creditor claims this debt became due and when it became delinquent. So you want all that from this collection agency. You're going to ask them all this and identify the date the last payment was made on this account. So you want to know that as well. Have you made determination that this debt is within statute of limitations? So, they just could be just collecting just to see could they collect, knowing that they can't collect and knowing you probably don't know that they can't collect, and then they just collect from you, right? So you want to ask all these questions. You want to ask them, does your firm have a debt collection license from my state? Are you licensed to collect in the state of Alabama, Mississippi, Missouri, Texas, Tennessee, Utah? I'm sorry. So if not, say provide the date of the license, the name of the license number, the name, address, and phone number of the state agency issuing the license. So you'll want that information from that whatever state that they're issuing that license to them to collect. And if you're contacting me from a place outside my state, does your firm have a debt collection license from that place? So if somebody from outside, say they from Tennessee trying to collect in Alabama, do you have a license to collect here in Alabama? We need to know that as well. So and then you're going to ask them, please let me know whether you are prepared to accept less. Now, see, this is the negotiation part right here. So even if the vendor they sent saying that you owe this and they have the documentation saying that you owe this and they send you that documentation, okay, well, instead of writing 2 letters, then you have this in your letter. You say, please let me know whether you are prepared to accept less than the balance you are claiming is owed. If so, please tell me in writing. So now they're going to send you a letter saying it's a negotiation, basically. If you owe $5,000 and then they want to, we'll negotiate, we'll take $1,000, then, that's up to you whether you want to pay or not. But you want to make sure that you get what they call a pay for delete letter. That way, if you negotiate on whatever balance that you actually owe, and you guys come to agreement that you're going to pay $1,000 on that $5,000 bill, then you go ahead and get that letter from them stating that this will be settled in full and that you'll delete it from my credit report. If this balance is paid within, I don't know what you negotiate with, like 3 months, 9 months, a year, or whatever it is, then you make sure you keep that letter and you keep it in writing just in case event that when it's time to, paid off the last bill or the last payment, then they don't release it or take it off your credit report, then you can use that letter that initially sent you excuse me, as leverage to get it off your credit report. Okay, so I just want to bring you guys this, and I will try to copy and paste this some kind of way. I don't know how I do it, but I just send it to you some kind of way. I get it to you. All right, so you can use this letter, and you just put up here your information, the debt collector's name, and the account for the debt that they say you owe, and you just send it to them, and just be it. Okay. This is Mary with Better Day Consulting and Credit Repair. If you want your credit fix, put Mary Taylor in the mix. And also, if you want a free consult, I do free consults at creditconsult.betterdayconsulting.com. And I'll be glad to answer any of your questions on my group, Better Day Credit Repair group. You can find us on Facebook. And you can also hit me up on my page, or if you need to ask me something personal that it won't get into debt. Depth, you can send me a message on my inbox. But other than that, you can go ahead and schedule a free consult, and we'll see what's going on with your credit report. Again, this is Mary with Better Day Consulting and Credit Repair. If you want your credit fix, put Mary Taylor in the mix, and I hope to